Alejandro Mayorkas sounding the alarm on FEMA funding right after the devastation of Hurricane Helene. Listen.
We are meeting the immediate needs with the money that we have. We are expecting another hurricane hitting. We do not have the funds. FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season.
This all comes as the Biden-Harris administration spent over $1 billion from a FEMA program on services for migrants. Attorney General of the great state of Florida, Ashley Moody, joins me now. AG Moody, why does the Biden-Harris administration always seem to help American taxpayers last?
Good morning, Todd. Yeah, everyone should be waking up this morning outraged by that comment. This is not something that has just happened recently, and Florida's been warning about this since this administration took over. Mayorkas has come in like a virus and infected these what need to be healthy, strong, fundamental programs to ensure the stability and safety of Americans in times of disaster. So you heard, they have taken the FEMA Emergency Food and Shelter Program and over time siphoned off hundreds of millions of dollars into basically making it an illegal immigrant resettlement program. And so when you see these states and cities around the nation declaring emergencies, even blue states, because of what this administration has done, encouraging more and more and more, developing programs to encourage more and more and more people to come here, the government, Biden and Harris, are having to fund that on the backs of the American people. And now, right now, in Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, all of these states are hurting because of this truly natural disaster, not a Biden-Harris-made disaster. They're saying we need more money. And of course they need more money because they've been laundering it from the true intended purpose of this fund that Congress set forth.
People are reporting that they are getting arrested for bringing in supplies, bringing in water, and helping transport people out of the emergency zones. They are being arrested by the local authorities. All right, we are also getting a statement as well from Kamala Harris about what kind of benefits are going to be available for the people that we're dealing with Hurricane Helene. So let's get into all the details here really quick, guys. Please just hit that like and hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos a day, keeping you guys updated on this big urgent news, and it just helps to get these warnings out. I appreciate that. So lots of big stuff is still happening in North Carolina, Tennessee. People are still struggling. Florida as well, Georgia, this entire area has experienced major devastation, and they're threatening people going into the area with arrest. I want you to listen to what this guy is reporting. He flew his helicopter in here and he's trying to evacuate people, and the fire chief is threatening to arrest him. I want you to listen to his story here, but I also want you to listen to what Kamala Harris said what the benefit is going to be for victims here. Let me know what you think about this amount, if this is enough, if it's too much, or if you think people deserve more.
And the federal relief and assistance that we have been providing has included FEMA providing $750 for folks who need immediate needs being met. All
right, so $750 will be provided. It'll definitely.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Ruchaha Kodash. I want to give double honors to head apostle and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessing to you, sincere Hakim, that are pushing this truth all over the four corners of the earth, week in and week out, in all truth and sincerity. So word on the streets is FEMA ain't got no more money. Apparently they gave out all their money to these so-called migrants in this one hell of a benefit package that was handed out. You know, these so-called migrants were receiving, large sums of money, housing, being put in hotels, okay? Heavy digits on food stamp cards, being let out of prison for felonies, high-level crimes, And here it is when people are in need over here in this great quote unquote land, America, all right, Babylon the Great. When people are in need because of catastrophe, they said, we ain't got it. You heard what Kamala Harris said, or the Biden-Harris administration said, we can offer $750 to these families that are in need because of this catastrophe, which is just laughable. All right? So you got a lot going on over here in America, man. You just had the port shut down, and now they are calling in the National Guard to come in and open up some of these ports so people can receive aid that have, experienced loss concerning these various different hurricanes that have hit certain parts of America. All right? So they said they ain't got enough money. The government don't give a shit about these people, man. The government don't give a shit about you. They say one thing, they act like they can't do something, and on the other hand, they're saying something completely different, and they're doing a whole lot. Meanwhile, they say they don't have enough money to give you that are in need, but they have billions upon billions to ship over to Israel in their time of need, right? It says this is an article going into how much money the United States has given to Israel. It says on August 13, 2024, the Department of State announced that the U.S. had approved a $20 billion weapons package sale. Salakia, that's not the one I'm looking for. Salakia. Here it is. Bear with me one moment. All right, here we go. It says U.S. to provide $3.5 billion more in military aid to Israel amid war on Gaza. Okay. It says the latest U.S. financial aid to Israel comes from a $14.5 billion supplemental military funding bill for Israel passed by the Congress in April. All right. So this is not even a, new article, because United States have just sent more billions to Israel concerning this altercation over there in Lebanon. So the people are angry, man. People are mad. The temperature is definitely rising. All right? The temperature is definitely rising. And me personally, I don't see an election taking place. Okay? I really don't see an election taking place. Let's get a couple scriptures real quick. Let's go to, what is it, Proverbs? Let's go to Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So the people are in mourning. All right, all across the board, people are angry. They're mad. They're mad at the powers that be. They're mad at the government. They're mad at their political leaders. All right, they're mad at how society, all right, is, in their eyes, is taking from them. All right. People are mad at the wages that they're getting. You got these ports that have gone on strike. You got Amazon going on strike. You got there's one more company that just went on strike. Amazon, the ports, and I forgot it, but there's another company that has gone on strike. So we're seeing a ripple effect. All right, and I believe we're going to see a lot more companies, go on strike because of their wages and wanting more. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear the rule, the people mourn. And the people are definitely in mourning. People are barely getting by with, fairly decent jobs. And the price of things are constantly going up. And we're about to see a high increase of goods amid this whole port strike, which is definitely going to lead to an inflation. And ultimately, if it goes on for much longer, it's going to result in a hyperinflation. All right, let's go to Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. Kamala Harris said, "We got a $750 for y'all. We got 750, 750." She said she got 750 for y'all. Take it or leave it, right? Hey, the so-called migrants, as soon as they cross the border, the first minute, the first hour, the first day, they was doing better than that. Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2. And let's start in verse 4. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." These so-called migrants that have been brought over here were not brought over here because the government, because the so-called white man cares about your situation, your poverty over there. You were brought over here to fulfill his agenda. All right? It says, "But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long, and to him that ladeth himself with thick clay?" So these people are in a state of mourning and a state of anger, and they're right there at the tipping point of taking matters into their own hands. All right, right there at the point of no return. Let's go back to this news report from Fox News.
On the backs of the American people. And now, right now, in Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, all of these states are hurting because of this truly natural disaster, not a Biden-Harris made disaster. They're saying we need more money. And of course they need more money because they've been laundering it from the true intended purpose of this fund that Congress set forth. Laws be damned.
There's two things going on here. We just touched upon the main thing, this horrific prioritization of migrants over American taxpayers. But there's also something else here. What does this say about the Biden-Harris administration's ability to just lead if they underfunded FEMA this much, and we are not even close to being in the heart of hurricane season, which in reality is August, September, October, and November? A.G. Moody.
Look, this is what President Trump did so well while in office. He could get to a 30,000-foot level, look at the health of American agencies and
And this is all done on purpose, all right? So now we have an underfunded FEMA, FEMA not having enough money, whatever the case may be. But on top of that, you have various reports, as I went into earlier, of them basically making it illegal to help these people in need, and which this video is going to go into. These people that have received this magnificent benefit package concerning these migrants are looting these houses that have been abandoned because of this flood. Because of these hurricanes.
Programs, determine what the problems were, and enlist resources, talented individuals, and a strategy.
And they Esau, without even lifting up his hand, could facilitate funding, could facilitate aid, could get things needed to people in need. he could stop these so-called migrants from doing the things that they're doing concerning looting, robbing, stealing, just causing all different types of chaos in these cities. But he's not doing that. So you got to ask yourself why.
To put Americans and the safety and strength of this nation first. I've seen it work here in Florida with Governor DeSantis. We decide where our problems are, we set forth to fix them, and we make sure not only money, but the strategy and talented personnel are in place to fix them. So, for example,
see, the wicked elites don't want it fixed. These people are always talking about strategies. We need to come together. We need to do this. We need to set aside this. Say we need to take away from this and put into that. All right, we got to put up this leader. They don't get it. They don't understand what's going on. They don't understand who's in power. They don't understand the mindset of this man. This is all purposely being orchestrated. This is Esau's strategies. This is what he has set up and strategically put in play. This is what they speak about at their summit and secret council meetings, what they want to see for the next year or two, what different chaos and catastrophes, and now, this man has weather manipulation capabilities. So he can, not saying he did form a hurricane and, makes earthquakes happen, which he has the power to do that. And just like, I forgot who said that, I believe it was one of the Rothschilds, he stated never let never let a crisis go to waste. So, roughly paraphrasing. So they capitalize off of catastrophe, crises, wars, even, when weather anomalies happen, they capitalize off of that as well. And ultimately, the Most High Yahweh is controlling these wicked elites on the left-hand side.
When you have a disaster like this, and when there's no electricity, instability, when there's people needing just the basics of life because of a disaster. I was with officers the other night, and we surged our resources in vulnerable areas to looting. We made sure officers knew what to look for when it was in complete darkness. Right. They knew what to charge. We make sure our state attorneys know to hold these people so they don't get back out and start ravaging these communities again. It takes proactive efforts, and you just do not see this out of this administration. And here in the roosters of coming home to roost, look at what's happening right now.
The Florida model
when
really...
we're in the middle of a disaster with this administration at the helm.
You're right. The Florida model really does need to be a 50-state solution. Just want to mention this. You all launched an anti-looting team in response to Hurricane Helene, coming as 8 migrant workers are arrested in Tennessee, accused of stealing from flooded buildings. You guys do it right down there. I would just add, only a depraved...
Yeah, so there you have it. Lord willing, that was edifying. To the next time, Shalom.